I said what I said. I meant what I meant. And I'm going to double up and double down on my podcast.
Kobe's mother is still walking. She's still with us. Vanessa Bryant, are you going to take care of Kobe's?
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Stephen A. Smith has never been afraid to stir the pot, but this time he's going straight for Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, and the accusations are explosive. He's putting her on blast for allegedly draining Kobe's estate and heading straight toward financial disaster. Stephen even claims he's got the receipts, and what he says Vanessa's been splurging on will leave you speechless. This isn't just about money, it's about betrayal inside the Bryant family. In a recent interview, Stephen A. didn't hold back. He openly questioned if Vanessa has been deliberately shutting Kobe's family out of his fortune.
I don't hear nobody saying that. Now, you and I both know, if a black woman inherited a white man's estate and he had some old white parents, white folks would be all over the media shaming them. All over the media shaming them. But because Kobe Bryant's parents are black, Vanessa's not black, nobody's coming to his family's defense. I just hope they stand up for Kobe's mom.
And then dropped a bomb by hinting that she herself might be losing control of the wealth Kobe built. The empire that once looked untouchable is now showing cracks. And Vanessa is right in the middle of it all. To really understand the firestorm, you have to rewind to one shocking moment that tore the family apart. Vanessa's own mother, Sophia Lane, came forward with claims that shocked the world. Just months after Kobe's tragic death in 2020, Sophia went public saying her daughter had kicked her out of the house. Yes, the grieving widow was accused of leaving her own mother homeless at the worst time imaginable. And Sophia didn't stop there, she took it to court.
Racism is about the control of resources, opportunities, and privileges. It has nothing to do with calling black people the N-word. It has nothing to do with believing black people are inferior.
In her lawsuit, she claimed Kobe had promised to support her financially for life. She painted a picture of years spent working behind the scenes for free, acting as both nanny and personal assistant for nearly 20 years. According to Sophia, she wasn't just owed gratitude, she was owed millions. Her demands were bold: $5 million in cash, a brand new house, and a Mercedes SUV to replace the life she says was ripped away. Vanessa's clapback was jaw-dropping. She didn't just deny her mother's claims, she went as far as to accuse her own mom of flat-out extortion. Vanessa painted Sophia as nothing more than an occasional babysitter who was now trying to cash in on Kobe's death. In her statement, Vanessa said, "I have supported her for nearly 20 years. She now wants to back-charge me $96 per hour for supposedly working 12 hours a day for 18 years. But Vanessa didn't stop there. She dropped a bomb that shook public opinion. "My husband never promised my mother anything." That line alone flipped the narrative, but the storm was just getting started. Because while she was battling her mother in court, another voice came forward with a completely different accusation.
Her a sizable estate, man. A sizable estate. And I don't hear any of these NBA players saying like, listen, we're not trying to get in your business, but Kobe was our brother.
Kobe's own mother, Pamela Bryant, stepped out of the shadows and dropped a scandal of her own. She accused Vanessa of cutting her off completely after Kobe's death, abandoning her financially and refusing to support the woman who literally gave birth to Kobe Bryant. Think about that. Within just 1 year of Kobe's passing, both mothers, Sophia and Pamela, were calling Vanessa out for betrayal. The media smelled blood, and social media lit up like wildfire. Headlines called it a family civil war, and fans started demanding answers. Even Stephen A. Smith jumped in, questioning why nobody in the NBA community was holding Vanessa accountable. But the most aggressive critic, Dr. Umar, he went all in, claiming Vanessa was neglecting Kobe's parents because, in his words, she's a racist, and then adding that the only reason the media protects her is because she's a white woman. But let's hit pause for a second, because this mess isn't just about in-laws throwing shade or critics shouting racism. This cuts straight to the question: what would Kobe himself have wanted? According to multiple insiders close to the family, the truth might sting. Kobe had been estranged from his mother, Pamela, for years before his death. The break came after a shocking betrayal in 2013, when Pamela tried to auction off his high school jerseys and even his championship rings, all without his permission. Kobe hit back hard with a lawsuit, and from that day forward, he cut his mother off emotionally and financially. The wounds never healed, and Pamela never apologized. So when Kobe passed away, Pamela turned to Vanessa, demanding financial support, but Vanessa refused. And that's when the narrative flipped upside down. Suddenly, the woman Kobe himself had allegedly disowned was being painted as a victim, and Vanessa was branded the villain. The irony here is wild. Vanessa was dragged through the mud for standing firm on what many believe were Kobe's final wishes. Yet one burning question refuses to go away. If Vanessa inherited an estimated $600 million fortune, how is it possible she's now being accused of going broke? That's where the whispers of a financial meltdown creep in. The deeper you dig into Vanessa's world, the more it looks like a dangerous pattern. Lawsuits piling up, extravagant spending, and the image of a crumbling empire. Even some of Kobe's most loyal fans are starting to ask the forbidden question: what is Vanessa really hiding? And the most explosive part, her own mother accusing her of betrayal in open court. The receipts were becoming impossible to ignore. First it was Pamela Bryant, then it was Sophia Lane. Two mothers, two lawsuits, two explosive accusations, and at the center of it all, one woman, Vanessa Bryant. But if you thought that was the peak of the drama, think again, because behind the walls of the Bryant estate, a secret war has been brewing. A war over legacy, power, and a fortune that's now under the brightest spotlight imaginable. Since Kobe's tragic passing, Vanessa hasn't just inherited his wealth, she's controlled it. And with that control has come one controversial financial decision after another. Moves that insiders say have sparked serious concern, legal battles, and whispers that Kobe's hard-earned empire could be slowly unraveling. Dr. Umar has even gone as far as to say it's not just bad management. He claims racism plays a role in how Vanessa is being protected while Kobe's own family is shut out. Now let's talk numbers. At the time of his death, Kobe's net worth was estimated at a staggering $600 million. That fortune included $200 million from NBA salaries and over $400 million tied to smart investments and business ventures. His most famous, a $6 million investment in body armor that exploded into nearly $400 million when Coca-Cola bought the company. On top of that came brand deals, multiple luxury homes, a fleet of high-end cars, rare collectibles, and his intellectual property under Granity Studios. So here's the big question. What happened to it all? The first cracks didn't come from tabloids or headlines. They showed up in real estate listings. In 2022, Vanessa quietly put one of Kobe's prized Newport Beach mansions, bought back in 2013, on the market, and that sent alarm bells ringing. According to real estate insiders, that Newport Beach mansion should have sold for about $2 million more than what Kobe originally paid. But Vanessa offloaded it anyway. Right at the same time, whispers started flying about massive legal fees and estate restructuring. And it didn't stop there. Within just a year, two more luxury properties hit the market, including a family-owned condo once used by relatives and even a sprawling retreat outside California that Kobe reportedly planned to keep for his daughters as part of their future inheritance. Her team kept quiet, but financial experts did not. One estate attorney told Bloomberg anonymously, "When you see multiple properties being unloaded this fast, especially by someone with no steady income, it usually points to one thing, cash flow problems." That one statement set the tone, because suddenly Vanessa's finances weren't looking as secure as the public assumed. And then came the lawsuits, draining Kobe's empire at lightning speed. Vanessa fought a wrongful death lawsuit against the helicopter company, another massive legal war with the LA County Sheriff's Department over the leaked crash site photos, a battle that technically won her $16 million, but most of that money was swallowed up in legal fees and divided with co-plaintiffs. On top of that came lawsuits from her own mother, threats of legal action from Kobe's mother, and a messy trust litigation that dragged on for years. Even in victories, the legal costs were devastating. Between top-tier attorney retainers, estate management bills, asset disputes, and private settlements, experts say Vanessa has burned through tens of millions in just 3 years. And while all this was happening, Vanessa was still living large. She's been spotted jet-setting across Europe, Turks and Caicos, Aspen, and more. Never commercial, always private jet, even for short domestic flights. At award shows and celebrity galas, she's been seen rocking custom couture gowns worth 6 figures. Behind closed doors, she's hosted extravagant private events with celebrity chefs, 5-star venues, and armed security on standby. To critics, it looks less like a widow protecting Kobe's legacy and more like someone spending at a pace even a $600 million empire can't keep up with. Nobody's saying Vanessa shouldn't live well. She lost her husband, she's raising 3 daughters. Of course she deserves comfort, but here's the catch. Instead of reinvesting in Kobe's empire, critics say she's draining it, and the receipts don't lie. Take Granity Studios, for example. Before his death, Kobe had turned it into a creative powerhouse. dropping best-selling books and negotiating with Netflix and Disney for animated projects. Today, the official Instagram page has been dead for over 2 years, the website shows no new work, and insiders whisper the studio is either on hold or quietly shutting down. That's not growth, that's decay. Then there's Kobe's Mamba Sports Foundation, which Vanessa renamed the Mamba and Mamba Cheetah Sports Foundation in his honor. While she still promotes it, tax filings tell a different story. Funding has dropped steeply and big-name corporate sponsors have quietly backed away. What was once Kobe's pride, a legacy project to uplift future generations, looks like it's slowly fading out. And behind the scenes, things are just as messy. Several insiders allege Vanessa has been consolidating Kobe's business trusts and partnerships, ripping away the advisory boards and hand-picked managers Kobe himself put in place. She's not just inheriting power, she's reassigning it, one former Granity consultant revealed. And that's a massive red flag. Kobe designed systems and layers of protection to safeguard his vision. Now it's all in Vanessa's hands alone. Pile on the non-stop costs, lawsuits, property taxes, luxury home upkeep, private travel, elite security, custom gowns, and a lifestyle with no diversified income streams, and experts estimate Vanessa may have already blown through over $100 million since 2021. For many fans, that's the scariest part. Kobe didn't just want his daughters to inherit money, he wanted them to inherit his legacy. And right now, that legacy is slipping away. One insider dropped a chilling warning. Unless Vanessa makes a major move, either by reinvesting in Kobe's business empire or locking down sustainable brand deals, the Bryant estate could run out of cash flow within a decade. And according to Stephen A. Smith and others, that would be nothing short of tragic. A $600 million legacy vanishing right before our eyes. For years, Vanessa Bryant was untouchable. She stood as the grieving widow who carried Kobe's memory on her shoulders, delivering that unforgettable eulogy and becoming a global symbol of strength. A mother holding her family together after unimaginable loss. People worshipped her, they respected her, they pitied her. But now that sympathy is slipping away fast. In the eyes of the public, Vanessa is no longer the victim. She's becoming the villain. And it didn't happen overnight. First, it was whispers on Reddit threads, shady comments under Instagram posts, and heated debates on Twitter. But those whispers have now turned into a roar. Stephen A. Smith's viral comments poured gasoline on the fire. The clip went nuclear on TikTok, racking up millions of views, thousands of duets, and non-stop arguments across every platform. For the first time, fans weren't just praising Vanessa, they were openly questioning her. Expose-style YouTube videos popped up with headlines like "Vanessa Bryant is not who you think she is" and "The silent collapse of Kobe's empire." Stephen A. Smith tried to warn us. Each one pulling so-called receipts, legal filings, estate records, and old interviews that painted a darker picture. Even mainstream outlets began to change their tune. Right after Kobe's death, magazines like People, ET, and Vogue glorified Vanessa as the ultimate symbol of resilience. But now, the coverage has cooled. The tone has shifted. What was once glowing sympathy is starting to sound like cautious side-eye. Forbes recently did a full breakdown of Kobe's estate, but one thing stood out. They didn't offer a single word of praise for Vanessa's financial leadership. The Los Angeles Times covered her real estate sales, calling them strategic, but even they admitted there was uncertainty hanging over the Bryant estate's future. They weren't attacking her outright, but they weren't protecting her anymore either. And that silence, it's deafening. Even Hollywood seems to be stepping back. In 2020 and 2021, Vanessa was constantly seen surrounded by A-list besties like Lala Anthony, Ciara, Kim Kardashian, and Gabrielle Union. But by 2023, those posts began to vanish. Red carpet moments slowed down, birthday shout-outs stopped, and celebrity mentions dried up completely. Today, you'll struggle to find a single high-profile star publicly defending Vanessa amid the chaos. Even LeBron James, once considered tight with the Bryant family, has stayed completely silent on the lawsuits and estate drama. And when everybody around you suddenly goes quiet, it usually means they know something the public doesn't. But the backlash didn't just stop with celebrities, it hit Kobe's most sacred territory, his fans. Kobe's fan base is legendary, fiercely loyal, emotional, and protective of his legacy. Yet even they've started asking uncomfortable questions. Why has the Mamba Academy's online presence nearly disappeared? Why has Nike quietly distanced itself from Kobe merchandise? And why, years later, are there still no major documentaries or books honoring Kobe's story? The answer, insiders claim, lies with Vanessa herself. With full creative and legal control, she allegedly holds the keys to Kobe's legacy. And critics say she's either not prioritizing it, or worse, actively blocking it. One former ESPN producer, speaking anonymously, even revealed that a major Kobe docuseries with a top streaming service was scrapped after estate negotiations collapsed. because Vanessa's legal team reportedly made unreasonable demands. The result, Kobe's story is left hanging in limbo while the empire he built continues to crumble in silence. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.